My name is Jody Ono. I'm a Seisen parent. This is my Seisen TEDx interview. So, first question, I'm going to peel it away. What inspired you to be a TEDx speaker this year? I have enjoyed the Seisen TEDx in recent years since my first daughter graduated from Seisen in 2022, and so I've been following your work, and I realized that every year you've been refining and building upon everything you've been able to achieve. So I was very inspired to be a part of it this year. How can this theme be applied to the improvement of society? Many argue that we're in a time of transition. We can say that we're always in a time of transition, but I would argue that more and more dimensions of our lives are challenging us at this time. Politics, economic, social change, and the foundations of the international system with which I grew up, for example, I believe are being questioned in sometimes healthy ways and other times not so healthy ways. So the theme for this year, Radical Reframe, challenges us to think differently, which is, I think, something the world needs right now. Third question. How do you hope to make an impact through your talk? I teach leadership development at 2 universities here in Japan, and I also teach managers, executives, and next-gen leaders in both global and Japanese companies. I also have taught undergraduates. I've been doing this for about 10 years after a career in international development and public policy. I've noticed through all my career that the most important factor in career development and life satisfaction is the ability to affect your own situation in life. And this is a very, very important tenet also of leadership development, about making a personal commitment to yourself. And so that's what I'd like to talk about in my TED Talk. I've seen that this topic can really encourage people and democratize the idea of leadership, which for many seems remote and difficult to access. So I want to try and make that concept of leadership more accessible to more people. Okay, next. Do you have any past experiences with public speaking, and what have you learned from them? Up until about 15 years ago, public speaking was not something I did very much of. In fact, I shied away from it pretty actively throughout my career, and I left a lot of those opportunities to colleagues. But as I advanced in my career, I realized it was more and more important. And of course, when I started teaching, I realized I was standing there. It was just me standing there alone in the front of the room, and it was all up to me, for the most part, at least in the beginning, to get the students engaged in what I was saying. So by this time, I've done a lot of public speaking, and it feels very comfortable for me now. What I learned was that it doesn't really, there's no point to public speaking unless you have something that you feel is valuable to say. So the best preparation we can do if we're going to speak to other people is make sure that we have a clear message and something that we believe that they might like to know. Next, are you looking forward to hearing the other talks? Yes, very much so. I saw that you have chosen a diversity of topics, a diversity of people, all different nationalities, ages, vocations, and I was very happy to see that. One of my most important activities of recent years is bringing together people from different generations, different industries, different life stages to talk about leadership development. So here you are bringing the same kind of approach to your theme of radical reframe, which I think is absolutely constructive and appropriate, and I'm sure you'll have great results from this approach. Finally, in this time of global conflicts, do you feel that such events can help open up new perspectives? As human beings, the best chance we have for resolving conflict is dialogue and exchange. It's through this that we understand each other and move our conversation from one place to another. If there's no communication, everything will stay fixed in the same place for an awfully long time. So yes, I feel that all kinds of communication, sharing of ideas, anything that stimulates the intellect, but not only the intellect, any kind of input that instigates a reaction in people and helps them to think through things and think further is helpful. Thank you, and that was my TEDx interview.